but I want to talk to you, man, because you introduced me to this Twitter page, and I really just want to plug them real quick and just give them a shout out. If nobody's seen it, it's really cool, man. They call themselves the Wrestling Club,
Yep.
and it's a school in, I think, in New York, right?
Yes, and it's not a wrestling school. It is an actual
Like
school.
middle
Like,
school maybe, or an elementary school. It
yeah,
looks like.
I don't know the details. I just know it's been blowing up the wrestling world, and when I say the wrestling world, I mean social media
Yeah.
uh, has just blown up, and I mean uh, wrestlers from the top organizations have reached out to. What, do you know the Twitter handle of the
It's
dude that?
Wallflower Perry. Twitter at Wallflower Perry, named Victor Taylor Perry.
Yes, yeah, that's it. That's it.
And and
Yes.
what they do is, if anybody remembers their school days, you had clubs, drama club. Me, I was in weightlifting, because bang.
Heck yes.
So they have a club where these kids can go to a classroom and they watch wrestling, whether it be AEW, WWE, and I didn't have that, but God, that is so cool, man.
That
It
is
is awesome.
awesome. It is. It's awesome. And the fact that, look, you know I love it, and I know you love it, and to see kids all share the same love for the business, and an actual teacher be able to bring them all into a classroom and watch different matches. I saw the other day they posted they were watching a match from Japan, and it was two Japanese wrestlers, and whoever shot it, and I would think it would be Victor Perry, but I'm not positive of that, but it showed the two Japanese wrestlers in the ring, and then they panned around and showed the class, and the class was just enamored. They were in it. They were, and you just think, that's the same love that, look, I'm an old dude, and that's the same love I have for wrestling. It's the exact same thing. And so just to see the generation gap of kids who look to be like 14, I don't know how old they are. I don't know what grade they're in, but they look 14, 15, all the way to me. You just go, wow, man, that's, people go, oh, I had a guy on social media tell me one time, no, you're old. We can't be friends. And I went, okay, well, have a good day. And I blocked him. So I look at that and think, wow, man, the minute you limit to yourself, the minute, see, that's how old I am. The minute you limit yourself to your environment and your surroundings, well, you're limited. And so if you open yourself, hey, guess what? I'm 61. I still could learn a thing or two from people older than me or people younger than me. And so it's important to me at my age to open my eyes to the way, look, I know how I feel about wrestling. I know when I see people in the ring, I know what I'm thinking, but I'm old and jaded. I've been in the business. I've been around the business my entire life. And so to hear what a 14-year-old or 16-year-old might think, or a 20-year-old, to hear what they might think about the business, it's important to me to open my mind to their opinion. Because honestly, at the end of the day, how many people my age are sitting watching wrestling every week? Maybe not that many, but how many people their age are watching wrestling every week? A lot more than my age, I promise you. So, hey, Victor Perry, dude, hats off and thank you. From somebody that loves wrestling, thank you for what you're doing, not just for our business, but for these kids, because they're going to come back later in life and they're going to remember when they're middle aged. They're going to say, "Oh yeah, one time I was a member of the wrestling club at school, and we watched wrestling, and these were the stars." And once these kids are 40 years old, who knows who will be the stars? Number one, but who knows where the wrestling industry will be when these kids, that's what, 25 years from now. Who knows where the wrestling industry will be? So it's super cool to see the love of wrestling and the fact that it's going to go forward in our lives. It's really look. I've always said it's wrestling is a getaway, and what I mean by that to this day is you get away from everything in your life. Yes, the power bills due. I get that. Yes, the house payment is due. Yes, the car payment is due. But if I can watch wrestling, I'm not thinking about that. And it's a show. And the fact that people love a show, I go to the theater and watch a movie and nothing exists except that movie. And it's the same way in wrestling. And look, I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm proud to have been a part of it. And I can't wait to see where it's going. And I know you feel the same way, Big Mike.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, we didn't have something like that when I was in school. I wish we did. I mean,
Me
because
too.
I would have been all over it. I mean, to number one, to find other kids who enjoyed wrestling, you know,
Yes.
as much as me,
Yes.
because there's people who don't. But then I could have made friends with people like that. But
Right.
that to me, it's just and the fact that he's showcasing Okada and people from New Japan
Yes.
to these kids who they wouldn't get to see that at home. You're not going to be able to see Okada at home,
Right.
or Bullet Club, things like that from New Japan.
No, you're right.
Not at 14 years old, unless their dad is a hardcore wrestling mark like myself.
Well, hey, look, all I can tell you is if they'll send me the T-shirt, the wrestling club T-shirt, I know it was on AEW this week. Like some dude had it on in the crowd in the background, and there was a clip on Twitter where the kids all went nuts when they saw their T-shirt. All I know is if Scott Armstrong and Big Mike have T-shirts, we will wear them on the next podcast the entire episode. So
yeah.
I'm a large, so send me a large.
I'm a little bit bigger than that.
And we will wear those T-shirts. Hey, I'm all about the swag.